It has been a long time, no chat from me on this channel. I have actually really missed making videos. I am just completely out of practice and I've had to start this about 20 times. But it's just been a very hectic 3 months in work and I just haven't had the time. It's actually Christmas. So you can see I have the tree behind me and it's actually Christmas Eve today. So yeah, I've been off work. I finished up for work on the 18th. It's now Christmas Eve and only now am I starting to kind of feel like I'm actually relaxed. So I definitely was towards the end of the year, which I think is very common. I know kind of even just chatting with friends and stuff and chatting with people over Christmas that they have kind of said that they are also feeling quite burnt out. Like it depends on what area you work in, obviously, but a lot of things are quite busy at Christmas time. Anyone that works in retail will know all about it. So yeah, like I definitely was feeling like I was on a bit of a hamster wheel the last 3 months, and with the result, some things that kind of do give me energy and give me joy and stuff have actually just taken a back seat while I just kind of kept like doing things I had to do or was obligated to do. So I'm hoping to share throughout this video, obviously it's Christmas, but I am actually hoping to share kind of how I get back on track and how I get myself back on track after I have had a period of sort of being very busy and sort of like a period where I kind of do start to feel a bit like burnt out. Because that's definitely how I felt the last couple of weeks, where I've just kind of been like the last, I'd say, yeah, 5-6 weeks in work. I just sort of felt like I was getting up every day. I was just trying to do all the things I had to do, running around. Like I wasn't styling my hair. I was going to bed with wet hair. I was staying up too late. I was actually started to actually have trouble sleeping. Like I wasn't making time for exercise. Like all the stuff that I know I need to do in order for me to keep sane, I just wasn't getting a chance to do. So yeah, I suppose I have some time off now, so I'm going to take this time to sort of set myself up for having a more consistent, I suppose, new year and not kind of be running around to the point where you get burnt out and can't do anything. Sorry, Rue just had to move the tripod there because he wants to chase the birds in the bird feeder. I am conscious it's actually a little bit of a mess behind me, but I just wanted to start filming while it was still bright outside. So there's boxes, I think that's a box of firelighters that needs going to recycling. Myself and Luke did our gift exchange last night, so they're still kind of like all wrapping and like boxes and stuff and instructions and things that I don't want to get rid of yet, just in case. So yeah, so today Luke has actually left me this morning for Kerry. His parents live in Kerry and he is going home there for Christmas. I'm going to my house, which is only half an hour away from where we live. And I will be back and forth to the house, obviously, because of the horses and Rua. So I'm not sure whether I'm going to sleep here tonight or go home, and then stay there and then come back first thing in the morning, let the horses out. I'm not quite sure what my plan is, but I do know I want to go through in this video, as I said, a few things that do make me feel better and more myself. And one of those things is going to take some time to do my nails. And I suppose another thing is, like, I know it's not anything kind of, you know, groundbreaking, or like I'm definitely not going to be good at doing hair, but just even taking like 10 minutes to do your hair just makes such a difference for the rest of the day. Like you feel nice and put together, and like I have that, especially for me, I have that kind of hair that's like, I'm like Hagrid if I don't do anything with it. And yeah, I've just noticed actually I just do feel more put together if I do my hair. Also put some makeup on. I'm wearing a red lip today because it's Christmas and you can't wear a red lip at Christmas. When can you? So I've done those bits. I've actually, this morning as well, I went for a nice long walk on the canal, and I've been trying to get out for long walks every day so far during my Christmas holidays, just because, again, I just wasn't, obviously as well, December, it doesn't help. The days are so short, like there is so little daylight, and if you work 9 to 5 like I do, like if you don't get out at lunchtime, I just find like you don't see daylight all week. So I'm really trying to like soak in as much vitamin D as possible while I am off. So I went for a lovely walk down the canal this morning. I'll show you a few clips that I got. Yeah, so I'm going to go paint my nails now, and then I'm actually going to do some journaling. Journaling is something I don't do it consistently, and maybe if I did, I wouldn't get burnt out, but I don't. I don't do it consistently. However, there have been times in my life where I may or may not have been on the verge of a little breakdown. No, but in all honesty, I have had times in my life where I have been very, very stressed, very upset, very like having all the emotions, and actually turning to journaling and writing it down has really helped me. Like there is something so powerful about like if you're, well, for me anyway, I know everyone's different, but for me, if I find that my head is just absolutely a mess and there's a million things going through it and I'm really torn on something, I need to make a decision, I find that once I get those thoughts out of my head and onto a paper, I just feel so much lighter. I'm like, okay, it's actually quite simple, or like, you know, it just sometimes something about it just sort of nearly takes the emotion out of it or something. I don't know what it is. I'm sure anyone that's listening or watching this and they're a psychologist or maybe they've studied this, they probably would know better than me, but I just find that this really works for me. And it is a shame that I always have to wait to the point where I like am kind of completely frazzled by the time I do this. Maybe if I did it more consistently, I wouldn't get to this point. I do also like, I'm a huge believer, and this is where it's probably going to get a little bit woo woo, but I am a huge believer in manifesting and manifestation. And the reason, another use of my journal is I like to sort of just think about like what things I want in life and where I hope my life goes and what I would like and things that I'm really grateful for. And yeah, like honestly, like I'm just being honest, like I have been in a bit of a negative headspace the last couple of weeks just because, again, not taking care of myself, being too busy, just not having the time to do things I want to do. And like, I suppose when I actually, like, and I know I haven't done this yet, but when I sit down this evening or this afternoon to do this and I start writing down all the things I have to be grateful for and I start really reflecting on all the things I'm actually so happy to have in my life, like, I know I will walk away very, very happy. And really that like the problems that I was making out to be such a huge deal are actually not. Like, they're just not. They're really small and they can be dealt with. And although they feel big at the time, you know, there might be some emotions around them, they can actually be worked through. So I am going to paint my nails, do a little bit of journaling. I'm going to make myself a coffee. And then for my Christmas present from Luke, I got a new Kindle. I did have one, but it was like literally one of the very first ones that came out. And it was just a bit slow, a bit laggy, and also just not very bright. Like, I kind of just found that I couldn't really read at nighttime with it and stuff, which is kind of really one of the main reasons why I would want a Kindle. So I have a Kindle and I'm currently reading The Housemaid by Frida McFadden on it. I've never really read anything by her, and I'm also not the biggest thriller person ever, but I do know there's a film coming out, and my main motivation for watching it is that I actually just wanted to go a trip to the cinema and I wanted to read it before I went and watched the film. So I am about 10% through it, and yeah, it seems good so far. It definitely is very easy to read. Like, it's very, you just kind of fly through it. Which again is nice. Like, I wouldn't say the writing is blowing me away. This is just my opinion now, but like in terms of plot and pace and stuff, it is very quick and very easy to read. So I definitely think it would be a good one to read, like if you were on holidays, like in a sun lounger or something, or in a situation where you're kind of half reading, but you're not really, like, you don't need to be sort of like, it's just not It's just not very difficult to follow, which is great, like so far. So I'm going to stop babbling now. I'm going to take you with me to paint my nails and a journal and make a little coffee and just make a little afternoon of doing some mindfulness stuff to reset. Yeah, really excuse the mess, but here is our lovely tree. Also, Rua has attacked it so many times, so it's completely, the lights are just completely wonky down the bottom. Like, I don't know what's going on with them anymore, but it's just because Rua has rearranged them. There's also an area of a very sparse, or an area where there's basically no baubles, and that again is down to Rua. So yeah, like, I guess it's the best we could do with having a 7-month-old cat in the house that just wants to absolutely tear down this tree at every opportunity he gets. And yeah, this is my first time ever having a real tree. We didn't actually get to go to a Christmas tree farm to pick it out. We got this guy to deliver it to us, and basically by the time he was able to come, and we were kind of last on the list, and this was the only tree he had left. So is it my favorite? No, I think it's probably a little bit thin up the top, and definitely fuller down the bottom. But look, it's our first tree in this house, and yeah, I do like it. And next year I just might be a bit more organized, that I can actually go pick out a Christmas tree from the Christmas tree farm myself. Really hoping you can see me and that the angle isn't totally weird. So yeah, this is like my first little bit of self-care. I am going to go over to my parents' house later, which obviously seeing family and friends is always good for when you feel a bit burnt out and overwhelmed. I just can't go until I bring the horses in. So it's 3 o'clock now. I'll probably do that about 5. So I'm going to paint my nails now. So I use the 14-day mani kit. I just came in like a little box like this. I just kind of keep the box, 14-day mani. And yeah, I'm gonna enjoy doing that. I have my little candle lit. This isn't the most aesthetic room. This and the spare bedroom we haven't really touched yet. So we're gonna hopefully do those in the new year. It's also quite echoey in here, so hopefully that's not too annoying. But yeah, I have my little candle to make it just kind of a little bit more cozy, and have my coffee, and I'm gonna get going with this now. one, and I've decided ideally I would have a red, but I actually don't have one. I just forgot to order one on time, so red would be obviously much nicer for Christmas. So I'm gonna go with this one called Grape Gatsby, and oh yeah, you can't really see, but yeah, they don't really look like, oh, open. Let's see, it looks very dark, but it is kind of a little bit paler when you put it on. It's like a dark purpley color. Because obviously we're in the depths of winter, so I guess this will do me for kind of January time as well. Well, hopefully, maybe 2 weeks, so the first week of January maybe. So yeah, I'll put that on and see how we get on. Okay, nails complete. Yeah, they're a bit messy. I kind of don't know if I was fully focused on doing them, but they're absolutely fine. I should have said I'm not like super particular about my nails. Like I keep my nails short. I have horses. I'm mucking out every day. I'm doing stuff with the horses every day, gardening, dogs. like pretty long nails, and that's why I've kind of started to do them myself, because it wouldn't make sense for me to go spend €60 every 3 weeks to get someone to do them for me, even though they would be nicer. So I just use the 14-day mani kit, and like it is actually fine. I've gotten a little bit around the edges, so that usually comes off in the shower, and then I'm happy enough just once there's some kind of color on my nails. Like I don't need them to be like a work of art or 100% perfect. Like I'm okay with them being just kind of okay. So now I am moving on to my next little cozy afternoon reset thing, which is my journaling. So this is my journal. I just got this in Tesco and it's absolutely battered. It's very much worse for wear, but it just goes to show, like, you don't need anything super fancy. Literally all you need is pen and paper. And what I absolutely love about this now is like I cannot, let me just see if I can find something to block, but basically I don't know if it'll even pick that up, but I actually started writing in this in 2020. So my first ever entry in this is the 13th of November 2020. And yeah, it's just so interesting. It's really actually interesting. I literally am just reading a sentence here, which is actually really nice. It's like, so I was basically doing that manifesting technique where you basically write like yourself in the future. So I was doing it back in 2020, and it's like, I feel passionate about content creation and it's making me very happy and fulfilled. And here I am, content creating. Not very well, not very consistently, but it just goes to show, like, that is actually something that since 2020 I've actually been wanting to do, and it's something that I do need to prioritize more because it does make me happy. But yeah, so I am just going to spend a little bit of time writing in my journal and just kind of writing down all the things I'm grateful for, what I want for the new year, and then I might do another kind of manifesting entry. So basically the idea is that you write like you write as if you're the person in the future that has the thing you want to manifest, if that makes sense. So, and it's actually quite creepy. It's very woo-woo. So I do appreciate I'm probably losing a lot of people here if you're not into this, but I really do 100% believe in it. So like, just say a couple of years ago, I would have wrote, I am making myself a coffee and looking out my kitchen window at my horses, which I keep at home. I am then going in to log into my work from home job, and I am, comfortable, and my house is cozy and warm, and like, it's just, you're writing as if you already have the thing, and you're like, I'm so thankful for it, I love it so much. And basically it's like that positive energy you put out kind of attracts the thing that you want to you. It's really scary. Like, I don't know if I'll be able to find it, but I do have an entry in here which basically describes this house. Like before, a couple of years before this house even existed, to like I was even aware of this house. So it's just crazy. I 100% do believe that it works. Like obviously it's, it's not going to just like, you could think positive thoughts and then suddenly the keys of a house drop into your lap. Unfortunately not. Like it still is work, but like you still have to take action towards what you want. But typically if you take the action, you think the positive thoughts, it tends to work. That's just my experience. Like, look, we were going to get a house anyway, but this exact one, which suited us down to the ground, had the arena, had stables, like that just popped up when we were looking, and it was exactly where we were looking and like the area and stuff. And so 100% do believe that it was a result of manifestation. Anyway, that's a complete tangent that I've gone on to, but I would actually like to talk more about that, because I really do believe in it. So like here I'm writing in 2020, I love the tranquility of my surroundings, and I'm looking out at like birds eating out of a feeder in my garden and looking down at the stables, and like, like it's just crazy. Anyway, I'm going to do my little bit of gratitude now, because now that I have this out and I'm looking at it, I realize that this is actually very powerful and I need to do it more. So yeah. Hello, it is Stephen's day today, and I think the last time I updated you it was Christmas Eve. So I hope if you're watching this that you had the nicest Christmas. I had a lovely day at my parents' house. It was a bit of a different one this year, just because obviously it's our first year in this house, but we weren't doing Christmas in this house. So Luke headed back to Kerry, and I kind of woke up here by myself Christmas morning, which is just different. So I've always, like before that, I always woke up Christmas morning in my parents' house. So like literally 29 years of that. So this is the first year. It was a bit different. But it was nice. It was nice to kind of do the horses in the morning, and I guess you could look at the negatives and be like, oh, I'm not like at home with my family on Christmas morning, but then I had to like kind of, when I was mucking out, I had to be like, well, actually you're mucking out your horses which live at your house. So really, what can you complain about? But yeah, once I got up to my parents' house, then I just like parked myself in front of their fire and read my book. Obviously we did presents and everything and had breakfast, and then like after that I literally sat myself down on the couch, and one of my presents this year was a Kindle. So I got the Kindle Paperwhite, I think, and I had a Kindle before, but it was like literally like one of the very first Kindles ever, like the first generation, and I just found it was so slow. It also had like a different charger, like its own kind of unique charger that I would have to like try and find. Like I couldn't just use my phone charger or anything. That's one thing I will say, like thank God the EU brought in those like one charger for everything, because as someone who is just absolutely horrendous at keeping track of different chargers and cables and stuff, like it's been really helpful. But it had my old Kindle, basically it was slow. It was also very dull, very like, it was really hard to read at nighttime on it, which is kind of why like one of the main reasons why I would go like reach for a Kindle as opposed to a book. And also I just sort of found that like I love physical books so much, and I love collecting them and having them in the house and having them around me. Like I just feel it's so weird, but like I just feel when I walk into a room and there's books there, or I can see like a cozy corner with like books, a bookshelf, books on a bookshelf, it just really relaxes me straight away. I'm like, okay, this is like I'm okay. Like I don't know what it is, but I find bookshops really relaxing. I love physical books, but I was finding that I'm so wrecked. I just want to read to go to sleep, and I want to like try and unwind in the evening time. And first of all, like if you're reading a physical book at nighttime, you have to have a book light on, and then sometimes it's just awkward to lie down and have the book, and like just it's more kind of cumbersome to handle sometimes. So it's also easier to fling this in your handbag than sometimes a big heavy book. So yeah, I have got this. I still think if I read a book on this and I absolutely love it, I will probably purchase a hard copy of it as well and add it to my bookshelf. But I might then be able to pick out like a really nice kind of cover or a nice edition and stuff. Like I'll just be more intentional about the books that I buy. So I sat basically reading this the whole of Christmas Day, and I was reading The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. And yeah, I think I said already, it's probably not my usual type of book, but I did see that there was a film out in the cinema, and I was like, I'm just kind of in the humor to go to the cinema over Christmas. So I was like, you know what, I'll read the book. I've heard from people that it's really easy, quick to read, and I can definitely vouch for that. Will say I'm not going to put any spoilers in or anything, but I will say the second half of the book is much more kind of gripping. But yeah, like it was a good book, and definitely one of those books that it'd be good to get you out of a reading slump. I don't know, I have seen some kind of conversations on like I maybe I'm wrong, but I think a lot of people put maybe those kind of books in the same kind of category as Colleen Hoover, and there's maybe some, I want to say like a little bit of snobbery about like books that are super easy to read. But like I think, yeah, like it's not, it's not going to be Othello or some kind of like classic that's the best written book of all time. But it is a quick, easy, enjoyable read if you are like looking for something to distract yourself. And as I said, like I just don't think it's very helpful for people to kind of say that like, to have that sort of snobbery. I think like reading, no matter what you're reading, is actually a really good habit. So like I wouldn't let anyone put you off just because they think that that those books aren't like, I don't know, like well written enough to be worth reading. Like that's that's just silly. I think anyone that wants to read, I think they should just read whatever they want and shouldn't be shamed for it. Sorry, that's a bit of a tangent, but it's just something I've seen a lot of recently with like the likes of Colleen Hoover. And I've never read a Colleen Hoover book, I don't really know, but I do sort of see people nearly being put down for some books that they like to read, and I just don't think there's any need for that. We all have different tastes, so it doesn't sorry, my mum is texting me. I don't know what she said. I'll look at it now in a minute, but yeah, anyway, I just don't think there's any need for that. So I've now moved on to, I finished that book up, and I probably will go to the cinema tomorrow to see it with Luke. I think Luke's coming back up from Kerry tomorrow, so that'll be nice. And Riva is joining me here. And now I am reading Instructions for a Heatwave by Maggie O'Farrell. And I'm about 30% through it, so I can't really comment too much on it already, but I do really like Maggie O'Farrell's books, and that kind of brings me on to something I want to chat about, which is books I really enjoyed reading in 2025. So I really do think the best book I read this year had to be Hamnet. It's just really, really good. I'm really looking forward to seeing the film in January. I know the films are never like they are never as good as the book, but yeah, I just thought it was really, really well written book, so I would 100% recommend that. Sorry, I got cut off there because I needed to check what my mum was looking for me for. But in terms of other books I really enjoyed reading throughout the year, so I'm going to say Nesting by Roisin O'Donnell. That was really good book about kind of relationships and the breakdown and toxic relationships, and it was a really good read, and I'd never read anything by her before. Two that I listened to as audiobooks and I really enjoyed. So the first one was I'm Glad My Mom Died. I can't get the by Jeanette McCudley. I'm not sure. I can't remember her second name. I'm probably not going to have the names of these authors on me because I have them saved in my Goodreads and I'm filming on my phone, so I don't think I'll be able to get them. But I'm Glad My Mom Died was a really I just remember going for such long walks and listening to that and like wanting to get into the car so I could play it again. It was just really just fascinating, the story and the, you know, because I would have grown up watching iCarly on TV, and I suppose just to know all that stuff was going on in the background is just absolutely mind blowing. And it kind of talks about her recovery and the lasting impacts, and yeah, and she narrates the audiobook and she does it so well, like she's really easy to listen to, so would highly recommend that book. Another one I really liked, and it was another audiobook, was Prima Facie, which was a different story. It was about kind of law and solicitors, and it was about a barrister kind of based in London who kind of works for the prosecution and sort of flaws with the legal system relating to certain kind of areas of law and stuff. So that was really interesting. And yeah, I'm trying to think what else. What other books were there? Sorry, I had to check my Goodreads there. But the other one was Talking at Night by Claire Daverley. Started off very slow, and then it just really got into it. Really loved the characters in it, and yeah, it was just a really good book. It was kind of had a normal people vibe to it, but yeah, it was absolutely brilliant. So I would say there maybe like, I think was there 5 books I listed there. So they would be maybe my top 5 of 2025. Yeah, I probably didn't read as much this year as I wanted to. I suppose like it has just been a hectic year with the house and everything, and I just, there were times where my attention span just wasn't in it. But I'm hoping now with my Kindle, one of my New Year's resolutions is to actually, like, I suppose, read more and stop the scrolling, because I do notice that it's just not good for you guys. Like it really is not good to sit on your phone and just consume that much content in such a short space of time. Like it does absolutely fry your brain. And actually, I don't know if you can probably see it there, but you can see that little like arm thing. So that's one of the arms, and I have the like Bluetooth little controller thing, so I can actually lie in bed under the covers and read my book and just press the little remote to change page. So yeah, I'm really hoping to like read a lot more in 2025. One other thing I wanted to mention about what I got for Christmas. So this was from Luke. It's very nice. It's a perfume, because I just have no perfume. I used to have loads, but then they all kind of finished, and I just never, like, it's one of those things you just don't really buy for yourself. And what he did, like, he was asking kind of what do you want, and I just said, actually I would really love some perfume, and I particularly wanted this one. So it's the Yves Saint Laurent YSL Libra perfume, and he got the little set. So it's like the 50ml bottle, then you get a little travel bottle, and the a little kind of travel mascara as well, which I'm actually interested to try, see if it's any good. But yeah, like, look, I don't know if I'm competent enough to try and describe the smell. It kind of smells like orangey to me. I might look it up now and see if I'm totally wrong, but it smells sort of orangey and wintry, or no, I guess you could wear it in the summer too actually, but like, I don't know, it's kind of fresh but kind of deep at the same time. Yeah, I've just realized it's very difficult to describe a smell, so, but it's lovely. I would recommend it. And Yeah, I suppose kind of in the spirit of self-care, which is kind of one of the themes I want in this vlog, I do think it is nice to like just make a bit more of an effort. I suppose like with self-care and just like, like get out of the shower and just take 5 minutes and put moisturizer on your body. And what I love to do is I have like a bathrobe kind of towel, and I will like slather myself in moisturizer, put that bathrobe towel on, and just like go read your book. Like just create little like rituals in your day where you are being very intentional about giving yourself time to take care of yourself, because that kind of reinforces to your brain like you are a priority, and like you can't just let everything else and the world kind of dictate how your day goes and where you put your time and stuff. Like you need to make it a priority to take care of yourself. So yeah, that's something I kind of like, you know what, I'm gonna use that perfume. Like if I'm going out to the shop, I'm putting that perfume on. If I'm leaving that house, I'm using that perfume. I don't believe in kind of keeping things up for a special occasion. Like it's pricey, but it's not like ridiculous money that if it was ridiculous money that that it was too expensive, that I was afraid to spray it, then what's the point of it? So I kind of think use the nice things that you have. Don't keep saving them for a special occasion or for when you feel like you deserve to use them. Just use them and enjoy them. That's what life is for. So now I am going to head. It's Stephen's Day. It's getting dark. You can probably tell. Actually, I should probably have pulled the blinds before I made myself look like a complete weirdo with a ring light, and in case anyone's walking by. But I am going to head back over to my parents' house for some Stephen's Day dinner. I just need to bring the ponies in first. They're outside. And then I'm going to head over and maybe chill there for a couple of hours and then come back. And yeah, I'm hoping Luke will be back tomorrow then, actually, so we can maybe go to the cinema to see The Housemaid and maybe get a Nando's. And then I think he's working on the 28th, and then the 29th and 30th I really want to go for a hike, just to blow away the cobwebs. And just sometimes when I feel like everything kind of gets on top of you, like I just think going to like hiking up a mountain and being in a really open space just helps me. So yeah, that's the plan for the evening and for the next couple of days, but I will take you along anyway. So let's go. Hello, we are well and truly in the Twixmas now. I only discovered that word this year. I don't know if it's a new thing or if it's always been around and I just haven't noticed it, but I really like it, like Twixmas, the time between Christmas Day and New Year's Day. Luke was back yesterday and we actually had a really nice evening. We went to Nando's and we went to see The Housemaid in the cinema, and I actually really enjoyed it. Like I did enjoy the book, and I don't know, I know it sounds really bad, but I didn't really have high hopes for the film, but I just kind of thought, I kind of just was in the mood to go to the cinema. Sometimes it's just nice to go to the cinema, and I hadn't been in ages, so we went, and it kind of started off and I was like, oh, this is going to be not great, but actually it was enjoyable. Like it is, I wouldn't say it's a masterpiece or anything like that, but it is kind of engaging and enjoyable to watch. So we did that last night, and yeah, now he is working today, so he's off in Dublin for the day, and I am about to brave the shops. I haven't actually set foot in a shop since, I actually think 2 or 3 days before Christmas, because once I got my Christmas shopping done, I was like, okay, that's it. I just knew how I was feeling, kind of burnt out and tired and just overstimulated, that like walking around shops was just not going to make me feel any better. So I have been kind of trying to prioritize sort of time outside and all the other things that I have been doing in this vlog to make myself feel better. But unfortunately, I do need to go to the shop today because I am actually running low on supplies. And hang on, I'll just get the cookbook. But I'm not too sure what I want to do for dinner. I do think I want to cook something as opposed to get a takeaway, even though it is just me, just because I feel like I'm all for indulging over Christmas, but I kind of am getting to the point where I'm like, okay, I need a proper meal with some nutritional value. So I was looking at this Spanish chicken recipe. I actually got this book. It's called Leon Happy One Pot Cooking. I got it in a charity shop in Belfast actually, and yeah, it just looks really good and really easy, and like all the recipes kind of look doable. Like, do you know, sometimes I feel like with cookbooks there's the aspirational ones where it's all like duck and weird pieces of fish that you would never find in the supermarket, and you know, foam sauces and all that, and which is great, and I'm sure if you're into cooking, like that is, you know, they're really nice books to have to like when you have a bit more time on the weekend or something. But for me, like I just kind of want different recipes. I don't want to do like the same things all the time, but they do have to be somewhat easy and accessible because I just haven't the time with having 2 horses, a full-time job, a cat, a dog, a house. Like I just haven't the time to be kind of spending kind of 2 or 3 hours plus in the kitchen. So there is a Spanish chicken recipe which looked really nice. They do it with new potatoes, but I actually think I would maybe do it with mash because I'm just in the mood for some mash. So I'm going to look up the ingredients I need for that. I think it uses oranges, which is great because I actually have some oranges in the fridge that I got for having Aperol spritzes with over Christmas. So that would use some of them up as well. So yeah, it actually looks like a really good book, and there's like, there's a good few recipes in it that I'm looking forward to making. So, because you know, sometimes you can get a cookbook and there's only maybe 1 or 2 things in it that you actually want to make. So I'm gonna pick out what I need for that, then get just a few more of the basics like toilet roll and milk and just all that kind of boring stuff. I think I will actually get myself a little coffee on the way because I already had one, but I definitely feel like I need another. And then I also think I want to try and make a cheesecake today. I saw this recipe on Instagram for a Terry's chocolate orange cheesecake, and I absolutely love Terry's chocolate orange. Like, it's one of my favorite chocolates. So I saw a cheesecake, I was like, ooh, that would really appeal to me, even though I don't have the biggest sweet tooth ever. But I thought, while it's still Christmas and while we're still all indulging, might be a nice time to make it, because I certainly will be making it come January. So yeah, I'm about to go off, do that. Rukat is asleep on the windowsill. I hate leaving him. I feel bad. I feel like he's been on his own so much over Christmas, and he is a very social cat. But he's fine, I suppose. He's happy out. He's been playing all morning, and now I think he's just gonna snooze. So yeah, let's get going and we'll see what we get up to. Heading out now. Just wanted to show you my new hat that I got actually, because I actually really like the colour of it, and I'm not really a colour kind of person, but I just sort of felt like this colour actually just suits me. I really would be interested in doing a colour analysis because I just don't feel like I know what colours suit me that well, but I kind of put this on and I was like, oh, I actually do feel like this suits me. I got it for Christmas from Luke, and it is from Oliver Bonus, so it's like really nice kind of woolly material, and I actually had lost a lot of my hats. I don't know where they all went, so I'm really happy with this. So I'm just about to head off. I'm gonna go get myself a little coffee, and then I think I was actually just gonna go to Aldi, but I think I'm gonna treat myself and go to Dunn's, and hopefully it's not absolutely mental. I'm hoping that it's because it's not, you know, it's not the run up to Christmas. It'll be just less busy, but we'll see. Let's go. Hello, change of plan. I am back from shopping, but I've decided I'm not going to do the Spanish chicken. I was actually quite hungry when I was out, and I ended up just getting a wrap of the day from McDonald's, so I think I'm going to do something a bit lighter for dinner. I stopped in and got some of those Itsu dumplings, so I think I'm just going to have a girl dinner with some of those later because I don't need anything too heavy. I did get the ingredients to make the Terry's chocolate orange cheesecake though, so I am very much looking forward to doing that. I'm about to start it now and I will show you. It's just a recipe from this guy called John Watts. He's on Instagram and he has a lot of kind of quite easy recipes, and this one looks fairly simple. I'm not much of a dessert maker, so hopefully it's okay. So yeah, let's get into it. Rugat. What do you think, Rugat? It's you. It's you. It's you. I don't know if you can hear that purring. He's so loud. Okay. bye.